Good day, Lords and Ladies. Welcome back to Battle Brothers, me Cornish-Knight. Now, in the end of the last episode, in the end of Season 1 of Blazing Desert DLC, we played the Southern Mercenaries. I did pick up, we were going to try out the Manhunters, but after some comments from one of my viewers, and me doing some reading about, this is considered to be like harder than it indicated. Unlike in the base game, where you can pick up slaves in like any town, when you're playing the Manhunters, the slaves are restricted, I've been told, to the southern states, which makes it a lot harder to get slaves. It will also mean that if we have a religious civil war, we will have to back the southern states, because we can't afford to lose manpower. Also, you can. I basically looked into it, and the two issues I was confused about was like, I thought you could get prisoners, like slaves, from any kind of source, like human. Like basically, you could pick them up from any of the human factions you fight against. But apparently that's not the case. You can only pick them up from certain sources. I suspect it is probably going to be raiders and outlaws, like basically criminals. Besides that, yeah, this is the thing, which is that I am still happy to attempt the start. It's going to be a lot harder than I thought, so we may have to do something else. I was also considering playing the gladiators. You start with it's basically the variation of the lone wolf start, but for the southern realms, which is that we start with three very good, very well equipped and experienced fighters, but not as experienced as the lone wolf. Has a new trait for combat. Basically, one of them's a tank. One of them is basically a great weapons user, and one of them is, I don't remember what the other one is. I can't remember now. But they work with particularly unique combat styles to go all together. Glorious for you don't have any more than 12 men in the roster, and if all three of your starting mains die, your campaign ends. They will also they like having, they're very lavish, so this forces you to play a very dangerous combat style, having a lot more high ranked missions early to pay for their costs. So that's interesting. I think I will go with the Manhunter start though. So what I will do is that we will do this again. This is the reason I'm worried about this, is that the death spiral of this is possible. It is very possible to get a death spiral very early on in this campaign. So we do that. We'll go with the Blood Pact. We'll go with random event. I will not put permanent destruction on. I don't like. I know it makes the game harder, but it's unrealistic in my eyes. We will go with a nice sigil. Since we're playing as, that might be nice to have actually. That's a nice standard. It's a bit Celtic, but that's also something you could get, like in basically like the Southern Realms kind of thing. Because if you think about it, snakes are quite common, so having something like that is possible. Could be nice. We'll go with that one then. Next. We'll go with me. Yeah, the thing is that I'm one of these people that, like, when it comes to the economy, it's at the end of the day, contracts pay more and you're able to carry more resources at once. Like, upping the difficulty on these things affects how the game plays. Provides you balanced experience and can be quite challenging. What I think I will do is I will go with, we'll go veteran economy, and we'll go medium starting funds. I will go combat difficulty of beginner, since the death spiral in this game can be quite high, and I want to learn how the start works. I want to turn Iron Man on, because obviously it's nice, it's useful, but at the same time, the Iron Man system, like if I have recording issues, if I have computer crashes and stuff, like Iron Man can really mess up my Let's Play series, so a lot of YouTubers don't do it. Due solely to the fact that if you have like power outages or random Microsoft updates, it can really mess with your flow of the campaign. This is our seed here. I will not do unexplored map. I may do if and when I get around to doing the lone wolf start. I would probably like to do the unexplored map there, because that would be really cool. So let's do that. Okay, so this is the opening. Yeah, constant. This is basically telling us that we're manhunters. Anyone can earn salvation by working off their debt to the Guilder. So basically, from the sounds of it, they have the approach of if you basically are indentured, you are basically like a religious slave in their eyes. So let's see what he has. He's got Craven, which isn't great. Team player. Brutes. Yeah, Kvio's cursed to have deserted one army only to end up indented in another. Right. So the only person that we've got a bad stat on really is him with the Craven ability. No noticeable traits. He's quick, which is nice. Okay. So these guys are expendable. These people will not lose morale if any of the indented die. And it's basically a 1-to-1 ratio, which is that if we ever have more manhunters or slave drivers, if you want to call them that, this really should be called slave drivers. If you ever have more slave drivers than we do have indentured, the slave driver's morale will drop. We can take 16 people into battle, which means that if we ever have more than 8 slave drivers, the morale will be affected. So we want to have at maximum 9 slaves and 7 slave masters. Right, with that said, we have 2,000 gold. I don't know what my cap is. 300, 150, 100. Yeah, okay. Right, so let's look at the world map. Since we restarted, the world map is different. Right. I would love to play with this, with like the completely fogged over view, like we only know our starting city, and I might do that at some point. So let's have a look here. We have Hikmah, Al-Hazred, Al-Hazif. Right, those are that. And let's look at the Saxons in the world. A fairly equal distribution. This is a nice change. All the noble factions are relatively equal except for these guys. Let's see the faction information. Trading and haggling can be just as fierce in fighting any war, so this is basically the merchant house. Yeah, possible deal made by the house Hardin is not only based on honest trade, but on bribery, extortion, and deception. Yeah. Basically, these are basically going to, from the looks of it, to live without a why or wish concealed. These are basically going to be sort of the real like money people, so they're going to have a lot of characters based around quest about money and trade, and they're going to be very greedy and have a lot of production by the sounds of it. The Heron seeks high places. Noble House of Felis is a proud and unrelenting family with a long and bloodstained history of conquest. Seated in the fortress of Litzfest, they take with arms what they consider theirs by right. Okay, so this is like the war, like the aggressive war-focused faction. Zeal and honour. The house of Birkenhead revolves around a religious cult that teaches compassion towards their own, but turn them zealous and unforgiving towards their foes. Generations ago, a large orc base in pillars and destroyed most of their belongings to the family, and were never fully recovered. Since then, the house started many a crusade of punitive expeditions deep into orc lands, but never managed to drive the Cornish-Knights off for good. Okay. So they're basically like the religious zealots, which I believe is actually worrying. Actually, it's not too bad. They're up here, so they're not bordering these guys, for they may kick something off at some point. And of the 3 cities, we've got by all means, basically with canvas that a city-state ruled by a ruler's council but only achieves power by any means, many untimely death rumoured to have been assassins ordered by the vizier. So they're basically like political, amoral power mongers. He lives world who lives peacefully, a wealthy and independent city-state focused mostly on trade and acquiring further wealth. So they're basically merchants. And wisdom, the conqueror of fortune, a city-state dedicated to acquiring knowledge above all, even if it comes to cost of doing autopsies, forbidden readings, and engaging with sinister power not of this world. Okay, that's slightly worrisome. So who are we next to? The lion. So we're with the trading people, basically, yeah. Right, so we've got 2,000 gold. Let's see what jobs we have. A couple of low-level jobs. First and foremost, though, I need to buy some seals. Like, my petty guys aren't worth very much, but the longer they can stay in action, for me, the better. So, temple, arena. So let's see. Who do you want to hire? Sellsword would be lovely to hire, but not this level. Gladiator as well. Ooh, very nice. Gladiators are very powerful. We've got a slave here. We've got a nomad. I may grab the day teller. Unless he's got asthmatic. Yeah, no. Asthmatic is not a good trait. Historian. He's expensive. Eunuch. None of these guys really take my interest. He was interesting, but that fatigue penalty is really quite troublesome, especially low level. Let's look at the historian. He's got nothing, but the asthma is probably like that makes him worse than him, so we'll hire him. So what are we looking at? Basic stats, nothing outlandish. Double stats to melee skill is nice though. So we put him in. We still have more slaves than peasants or slave masters, so that's fine. We could grab a whip, which is very nice. Battle whip. I want some kind of cheap polearm though. Let's have a look. Warfork. Yeah, Warfork will do. Very nice. We'll grab the Warfork. I will grab a basic shield, a little bit of tool repair, not a lot of headgear, just some basic stuff really to cover our guys with. Not my, obviously, misunderstand, not my actual decent people, not my slave drivers who are the ones that are going to be the ones carrying us forward. No, we wouldn't want that. So you're going to have that taking off you. You're going to have that. You're going to have this. Anybody in here worth keeping? He's quite good. So you can have that. And with that sort of set up, let's get some basic jobs going. Caravan, day to the northeast. A little bit of money. It'll pay a little bit. This is... okay. That'd be nice to have. With that, I may need to pick up... yeah, those are bad stats. Not going to invest. If I'm going to invest in buying a new slave, we're going to do it properly. Okay. Got a little job. Okay. This could turn out unfortunate, because we don't have a lot of gear. Some cutthroats. Okay, so they do outnumber us. Don't have any ranged weapons. Let them approach. Okay. Let's try and gang up on them. Okay, so he's stunned. He can't do anything this turn. He's unarmed, so he's likely going to get killed. You protect the master. We'll throw the net. You can do that. He dodged, which sucked. Delay. That's unfortunate. We're likely going to lose some people. Yep, that's unfortunate. And he thinks this was too ambitious a start. Yep, you're probably going to lose. Yeah, we might lose this. Like I said, this is a really easy start to get wrong. So he punched him to death, unfortunately. So we lost most of our slaves to start off with. That's unfortunate. Right. So he's broken. It's over. Yeah, those three died, unfortunately. We grabbed one, but he's got like a cut tendon. Grab some gear, which is nice. The Knight prays forgiveness by parting our shadows. The signs of the goat go to brighten the both of us. He holds up his upper chain and tell him. You hold up a chain and tell him, not only the shadow is born a part of us, take him as an indentured. Right, okay, so we grabbed him. He's unhappy. Yeah, well, live with it. You killed 3 of my people. He's hurt, unfortunately. It'll take a while for that to come back up. Are you good for anything? We need to get a couple more people. Hopefully they just won't run off on us. And of course we lost the net. Okay. We'll go back, get paid. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of learning to do involved in this campaign. Anyone worth picking up? He's not worth it at all. Sell this for a little bit of money. We'll grab a little bit of food. and then we'll escort the caravan. Also, yeah, we'll heal him. Reluctant to do it. We're going up there. Won't take us too long. Yeah, that's not great. Yeah, well, I'm not going to stay here and get wiped out by 6 of them. I haven't got the manpower for that. Okay. Let me guess our reputation isn't going to be great. No. Yeah. Can we hire anybody? See, this is the thing, like, in the base game you could find indentured anywhere. This is one of the things I find a bit frustrating, is that if you play any other scenario, the recruitment thing is different. But when you switch to a custom scenario, it becomes very hard to find stuff of a particular type. So we can't hire any actual people here, that's unfortunate. Some basic clothing would be useful. They are disgruntled. Yeah, lost a battle, taken captive. Oh dear. That's the end of the world. You could be dead. I could have just outright killed you. Yeah, we need allies. Because we are no way able to basically, take on anything, really. Like I said, this is going to be a hard start if we're not careful. And considering the world is set up how it is, we probably are going to absolutely get hammered if we try and take part in any of the religious war stuff. Right. So they're closed up shop for the evening. Let's talk payment. Okay. Drive off people. Escort caravan. Okay. Go to camp quickly. Have daytime pop up. And we need it indentured. And they've got no indentured here either. So this is the real issue, is that my faction does not work without indentured. So all this does is really mess with my ability to actually replenish my forces, since they're unhappy because we have, yeah, see look, unhappy. Too few indentured in the company. So I need one more indentured of some kind. Oy. It's actually a really bad start. I think I actually messed up straight off the bat. And it is... I don't know if I can get back from this. I can try. Let's take the escorting job to here. Give us a bit of money. The problem is that their morale is going to be not great. Because we need to hire more slaves. Yeah, I can see why this is considered a hard start. Especially with the new rules put into it. This is the thing, is that you have to remember that when you play one of these different starts, the world gets like tweaked to accompany it. For example, if you're playing the cultist like I did in one of my previous games, the likelihood of cultists turning up is increased, and which is good because it's pretty bad for you not to have access to them. Yeah, it looks like they've completely taken... Yeah, it looks like they've completely taken any form of indentured out of the game in the northern settlements. Which I don't understand why it would become unpopular with players if that was the case. Reduce, like, removing half of your recruitment pool. I think that's going to be the one thing that's going to be like a really limiting factor, is that we will not be able to replenish our disposable forces as easily. So we're going to have to be super careful. And we're going to have to run from a lot of fights right off the bat. Are they getting raided by tons of people? Okay, so look, the guard is here. Let's join in. Actually, what we've got to do is we've got to join in and see if we can catch one of these guys. Yeah, engage the cutthroats. And we'll grab some more people out of them. You even have an assassin. Very nice. Let's see what happens. They're probably going to... If they hold, it's going to be interesting. So they're coming straight out. Okay. Remember, we do want some of these guys to survive, because we need slaves. Yeah, that assassin is going to be brutal. Missed. Missed again. So they're burning up. We may not actually get any prisoners from this one. They really need to get their awareness for the AI up. So they killed everybody. They did get some stuff out of it though. Yeah, okay, we did grab someone off this battle. Nah, too bad. You don't like being here. Well, you shouldn't have fought me. Right, okay, have a helmet. He leveled up. Get that up. Boost that. What do we want? More health is useful. 9 lives is really useful for these guys. So I'm probably going to grab, especially since these guys have to level quickly because we're going to always be limited. But I'm going to get student quickly early on. So what did you get? Yeah, so you're not liking this too few indebted in the company. So we need to buy one more indebted person. Okay, so they're season fair. We have some gear, not a lot. Some bits and pieces of clothing, nothing outstanding. And I need an indentured. Yeah, okay. He's got no major flaws. We'll hire him right off the bat. And what is he looking like? Okay, and hire him as well. So what are we looking at? None of them are outstanding range units. Some fairly okay plain melee fighters. So stuff like this should help with morale. I do want some clothing for them. Not a lot of common clothing, unfortunately. And no seals. Ugh, that's a pain. The only contract here is level 2. What does it look like? East by road. Yeah, that's fine. Grab that. Ooh, food here is expensive. You can go 6 more days. We'll grab a little bit more food. With the food that we have, we set off to the goal. Probably going through... I thought going through the desert would be the quick way, but it's not. No, maybe it is. We will lose people, not going to lie. The indentured, well, like our slayers, will die quite quickly, so we didn't get too reliant upon them. The main aim of this is to basically power up your slave drivers to become very powerful units. So we pretty much want to get students for every single slave driver to increase the XP gain. Right. So if we can grab this guy, so yeah, let's get into this fight here. And let's push aggressively. Right here. We have no range unit. We will probably need to pick up a dedicated range unit, basically. Okay, so let's have a look there where the bandits are. And that was quick. Yeah, we got another indebted. He's okay. He's fragile though, which isn't great, but hey ho. Give him that. I don't see why they're saying too few indebted. Like, too few indebted. I'm pretty sure I got a lot of indebted. Okay, so that's taken care of. They still got them marked up. Bit of clothing. We'll grab shield. up the defences a bit. Yeah, this must have glitched. Too few indebted in battle. I wonder if it's bugged. That would be annoying if it has. Let's just see. Because if it's bugged, we'll have to restart, which is not something I want. No, okay, that's back to normal. Too few indebted in the company. Yeah. Okay, present brute effect. Right. I thought it was a 2-to-1 ratio. Well, not 2-to-1, but I thought you literally had to have more than half the company of them. Maybe it's just a debuff that will disappear over time. Right. Need something cheap. A little bit of food. Okay. Got a couple of contracts. Parcel delivery. Okay, so that's 220. Okay. So far, not the world's best start. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting sort of campaign. But we should be able to do something with it. Indeed. We just have to see what happens. Like I said, like the game rules change a lot when you start playing with these unique starts. So it will be interesting to see what we can do with it. But that's for next time, folks. I've been Cornish-Knight. This has been Battle Brothers Blazing Deserts Season 2. And we shall see you all again next time. Goodbye.